Millions could miss out on a $2,400 payment this month if they don't take action before November ends. I created this channel with one mission: to shield people like you from fake promises and misleading Social Security news. Here, you'll find real updates that truly impact your benefits and your future. Subscribe now because this channel stands with you, not with the system. Have you ever received a message that made your heart jump? Something that said urgent, do this before the end of November, or lose your $2,400 Social Security benefits? Maybe it came through email, text message, or even a phone call. You read it and immediately felt worried. Could this be real? Are you really about to lose money that you depend on? Let me ask you this. Have you ever come across a message like that? If so, you're definitely not alone. And today I want to help you see what's really going on, because this is one of the biggest scams preying on people right now. My name is your trusted guide through the confusing world of Social Security benefits and online scams. Today we're going to break down this urgent-sounding message together. We'll talk about what's real, what's fake, and most importantly, how to protect yourself and your benefits. I know Social Security can be confusing enough without people out there trying to trick you. So let's make this simple and clear. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these scams and keep your benefits safe. Are you ready? Let's dive in. First, let me tell you what is actually true about Social Security payments in November. This part is important because scammers mix real information with false information. The Social Security Administration, also known as the SSA, has an official payment schedule for November 2025. If you receive retirement, disability, or survivor benefits, your payment is issued on specific dates. Some people will get theirs on November 3rd, others on November 12th, 19th, or 26th. The exact date depends on your birth date. This is real and true. The Social Security Administration publishes this schedule publicly, so everyone knows when to expect their money. Now, there's another group called Supplemental Security Income Recipients, or SSI. These are people who receive extra help because they have very low income and very few resources. For these people, something interesting happened in November 2025. Since November 1st landed on a Saturday, the SSA moved that payment to Friday, October 31st. This is completely normal and happens whenever a payment date falls on a weekend. Nothing unusual or alarming, just a standard schedule adjustment. These are the facts that are true. The payments are happening. The schedule is real. The SSA is paying people as planned. But here's where the danger begins. Scammers take real information and distort it. They add pressure, they stir up fear, they invent fake deadlines and claim you must act immediately or risk losing $2,400. And this is where we need to stop and think critically. Have you ever wondered why a government agency would send you an urgent message about losing a specific amount like $2,400? Why not $2,300 or $2,500? Why that exact number? Here's something you need to know. There is absolutely no credible information from the Social Security Administration saying you must take any action before the end of November to keep your benefits. It's simply not true. The SSA has not announced any new requirement. No special action needed. No deadline for November. When scammers send messages like these, they're betting on your fear and confusion. They want you to panic just enough to click their link, call their number, or hand over your personal information. Fear is their favorite tool, and sadly, it works on many people. Now let's talk about that specific amount, $2,400. This is interesting because this number doesn't match how Social Security actually works. The average monthly Social Security payment for retired workers varies from person to person. Some receive more, others less. But $2,400 isn't a special or fixed amount the SSA has flagged as being at risk. It's not a standard benefit that's suddenly in danger. The fact that scammers use this specific number is actually suspicious. It makes the scam feel real to people who might be receiving something close to that amount. If you get $2,300, you might think, oh, they meant me. If you get $2,500, you might think, close enough. This is how they hook people. Think about this. When was the last time you got an urgent message from the government? Real government agencies don't usually communicate this way. They don't send panicked messages. They send official notices through official channels. The Social Security Administration doesn't send texts or urgent emails like an alarm. They already have your official address on file, so any important notices are sent through the mail. When someone calls you about Social Security, how do you really know it's them? You don't. And that's the point. Scammers can pretend to be anyone on the phone. Here's the key thing to understand about scams like this. They follow a clear pattern. First, they grab your attention with fear. You're about to lose money. Next, they push urgency. Act before the end of November. Then they present a so-called solution, usually by clicking a link or calling a number. Finally, they trick you into handing over personal information or money. That's the trap. Scammers pick the end of November as a deadline because it sounds official and urgent. They rely on the fact that it's already late in the month, making people feel like time is running out. Many cybersecurity experts and official alert organizations have noticed these headlines and flagged them as scams. Articles from trusted sources have investigated these claims and found no evidence of any real requirement from the SSA. In reality, these rumor-filled messages are just one piece of a larger problem. False information about stimulus payments, extra checks, or special benefits circulates widely, often shared by people who think they're helping. They unknowingly spread scams, forwarding them to family and friends, who then pass them along even further. Before long, thousands of people believe something that isn't true. Have you ever received a message from Social Security that felt off? Something that didn't quite seem right? What was your first reaction? Did you feel scared? Did you want to act immediately? That instinct is actually a good sign. It shows you care about your benefits. But it's also exactly what scammers rely on. They want that immediate emotional reaction before you have a chance to think clearly. So what should you actually do to protect your Social Security benefits? First, and this is really important, go to the official website. Type in ssa.gov in your browser yourself. Don't click any links from messages claiming to be from Social Security. Go directly to the official site. You can check your Social Security account online. Once logged in, you can see your benefit type, retirement, disability, or survivor. You can view your payment amount and your exact payment schedule. This is the real information, and this is what you can trust. Second, if you can't access the website or you prefer to talk to someone, call the Social Security Administration directly at their real number, 1-800-772-1213. Get this number from the official website or from your previous Social Security paperwork. Don't call a number from an email or text message. Don't call a number from that urgent message. The official number is the only one you should use. When you call the SSA, you can ask about your specific benefits, your payment schedule, or any other concerns. Real SSA employees are there to help and will gladly answer your questions. Next, make sure your personal information with Social Security is accurate and up to date. Confirm they have your correct address, bank account for direct deposit, and phone number. Even if scammers can't directly steal your payments, having incorrect information can cause delays. Keeping your info current ensures you get paid on time and helps you detect fraud quickly if something unusual happens. Here's the crucial part. Be extremely cautious with any message that pressures you to act quickly regarding your benefits. If you receive an email, text, or call claiming you must act by a certain date or risk losing benefits, pause. Ask yourself, is this how the SSA usually communicates? The answer is almost always no. Real SSA communications are clear, official, and never demand immediate action. They provide instructions calmly and give you time to respond. Scammers, on the other hand, try to create panic. Watch for these warning signs. Emails or messages from unknown addresses claiming to be from Social Security. Links asking you to verify your account or confirm personal info. Phone calls threatening to take away benefits unless you act immediately. Anyone requesting your Social Security number unexpectedly via phone or email. If you've already been targeted, maybe you clicked a link, called a number, or shared personal information. Don't panic. You're not alone, and there are steps to protect yourself. First, call the real Social Security Administration immediately at 1-800-772-1213. Explain what happened so they can help determine if anything was compromised. Second, check your Social Security account online to make sure no one has changed your information. Third, if you've shared sensitive information such as your Social Security number or bank details, consider placing a fraud alert or a credit freeze with the major credit bureaus. These measures can help protect you from identity theft. Fourth, report the scam to official agencies. You can report it to the Social Security Administration's Office of Inspector General and to the Federal Trade Commission. These organizations track scams and work to stop them. Here's something I want you to remember. These scams rely on three things: your fear of losing something important, urgency, to make you act before thinking, people not knowing where to find real information. When you understand these three things, you can protect yourself. When fear appears, stop and think. When someone creates urgency, slow down. When you need information, go to official sources. Take a moment to consider your own situation. How much do you rely on your Social Security benefits? For many, these payments are the main source of income, used to pay rent, buy groceries, and cover medical costs. The thought of losing that money is frightening, and that's exactly why scammers use this fear to manipulate people. But here's the truth. Social Security benefits are protected. The government isn't going to randomly take them away without a reason. There's a legal process for changes to benefits. It happens slowly through official channels with official notices. It doesn't happen because you didn't click a link before November 30th. Here's what to do immediately. Go to ssa.gov, create an account or log in if you already have one. Check your benefit amount, review your payment schedule, and familiarize yourself with your actual account information. That way, if you ever get a suspicious message, you'll know immediately that it's wrong. You'll compare it to what you know. You'll notice the differences. You'll be protected. Share this information with your family and friends. If you know older adults who aren't online, explain these scams to them. Encourage them to be wary of urgent messages about Social Security. Tell them to call you if something seems suspicious, and remind them never to give personal information to anyone contacting them about their benefits. These conversations matter. They save people from losing money and having their identities stolen. Remember, safeguarding your Social Security benefits is about staying informed and cautious, not being paranoid. It's about recognizing the difference between real and fake information and relying on official sources. And it's about understanding that if something sounds too urgent, it probably is. Most importantly, know that you're not alone in finding this confusing. These scams trick millions of people because they're designed to be convincing. But now that you know what to look for, you're protected. The Social Security Administration is issuing benefits in November on schedule. There's no end-of-month deadline, and there's no $2,400 payment at risk. That claim is a scam. Your real benefits are safe as long as you take basic precautions. Update your information. Verify messages through official channels. And never give personal information based on an urgent message. Do these things and you'll be fine. Your benefits will come like they always do. You'll be safe. So tell me, will you take these steps to protect yourself? Will you go to the official website and check your information? Will you share this with someone you know? If you can answer yes to these steps, you're already protecting yourself and those around you. That's what truly matters. And that's how we put an end to these scams.